So this is what I normally ride in. Kind of went from the flat farmland to little hilly, back twisty roads. Love it out this way. Just gorgeous. Welcome back, everybody. Give me a second, let me get my music turned off. So today is December 13th. And I was fortunate enough that I was able to ride the Spyder to work today. And the Spyder's saying it's 53, but I think it's more like 48 degrees out. But I'm not complaining because it's very comfortable and it's a beautiful ride. So, you know, this time of year, a lot of people aren't riding. And I'm shocked at how many people have to put their motorcycle or Spyder away, and for how long a time. You know, in Ohio, depending on, you know, what you want to ride in, it's normally very doable through November. And then with the right equipment, you know, through December, no problem. It's just January and February, and most of it's January is the hardest to ride in. But, you know, I'm hearing 6 months sometimes people have to put their Spyder away. And I would absolutely lose my freaking mind. You know, because there's always a day like this. You know, it's funny, when I left work, it was very overcast. And, you know, I was just going to do another gray Ohio day. But I get down the road 10 miles and look at it. And I can see the clouds out in the distance. I'm like in a big, open, beautiful blue sky, backcountry road. I mean, if that's not a country song in perfection, I don't know what is. And then I love when I can commute on my Spyder, because it's never, it's hardly ever get off work and hurry home. It's get off work, jump on a back road, which is usually this road, and just take my time and have a good time getting home. But today I'm going to go a little bit different. Maybe a mile down the road I normally turn left, but I'm going to go straight, and then I don't know how I'm going to go home after that. And I don't have to ask, but I'm going to ask. I mean, if you commute or you're running an errand, you know, because I know sometimes it takes me a couple hours to run to the bank and get back home. So I know there's many more people out there that will go pay a bill or whatever, and it take an hour or two. But yeah, normally right here I turn left, and this is still, you know, fairly flat, just to my left. And if I keep going, that's where it gets hilly, and that's normally where I ride, is, you know, in that direction. I'm hardly ever in this area. So it's nice every once in a while to hit a road that I'm always by, but hardly ever come down. And I don't know how many miles. I don't know if I can find it really quick. Yeah, I didn't think I've only put 1,600 miles on this thing since I've gotten it out. Just, you know, the weather's just been horrendous. But not one issue at all. And I know there's a couple people that's asked about a transmission whine in an F3, so I guess I'll talk about that. Because, you know, I said I had a whine, and then I had transmission issues. But mine was a little different. I think a Can-Am Spyder is very mechanical sounding, especially with the 1330 motor. I think it sounds like a tractor. and I was able to look at a cutaway of the motor, and I know it's the valve train on this is part of it's gear driven and then another part's chain driven. So anytime you have a gear driven valve train, they're noisy. That's just the nature of the beast. So, you know, I understand the motor tractor sounding noise, but the whine, and I think Speedster Johnny had a whine in his. So when I bought this thing day one, I always listen to music in my helmet, and I'm half deaf, so I probably have it up at a pretty good rate. This whine I could hear over my music no problem. It wasn't just every once in a while there's a little whine or a faint noise that you could barely hear. I mean, this thing was horrendous. And I was listening to Spyder Johnny's. I watched a couple of his videos and kind of slowed it down, and his just sounds like a mechanical transmission gearing normal noise. And then I actually heard it on this one. Under certain loads or maneuvers or downshifting on the gas, you know, this thing does make a little whine. But when I had an issue, I mean, it wasn't a little whine that you're like, is this thing whining? It was screeching. So I can turn left down this road, and that'll take me home. I'm gonna turn my bottoms on really quick. Stay there. But I hardly ever go all the way down this way. But you know, since I've gotten it back, I've not had one issue, not one fault from the Spyder, not one hiccup, nothing. I mean, this thing is just rock solid, ready to go, like, you know, these 1330s are. This is one of those days, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, just every once in a while you get out on a ride, and man, you could just ride all day long. And this is definitely one of them. I haven't been on the Spyder this week. You know, we're just, and I think it's the new normal, is we're going to be severely below average in temperatures, to where, you know, you're peaking out at 29 degrees, which I could get out and I could enjoy a nice ride at 29 degrees. I really can. But this is more enjoyable. I mean, it's close to 50 degrees, and you know, if you have to, you can open the visor, you get some nice wind on your face, and I can turn left, and I can also go home that way. Or I can go straight. And I think our normal right now is 30 for a low and 40 for a high, which that's what it was this morning when I left the house. It was 31 degrees. Didn't have an issue with the Spyder, cranked right up. Heated gear out, had it turned up halfway. And off to work I went. And then after work, you know, I'm just now turning my bottoms on, just take a little chill out. But yeah, this is really nice. And I normally don't ride too much in farm fielded areas, I don't think. But I think the sun's gonna set here. It's almost 4 o'clock now, so I only have about another hour worth of riding, and then the sun's gonna set, it's gonna get dark, and those deer are gonna come out, and man, those deer are just, they are hardcore this year. But you know, I love hearing the little stories in the comments. You know, drop one below on what's the weirdest thing you've run out to do just to go for a ride? I don't know what mine would be. I've gone to the bank, I've gone to the grocery store, but there has to be something out there. You know, I'm not very creative, so there has to be a good story out there. Drop a comment below. weirdest thing you did just so you could go out and take a ride. And on that, I'm coming up on the road that's going to take me home, and I might be heading home. Maybe, I don't know. But on that, I want to thank everybody for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Stay safe, and hopefully I'll be back out in a couple days.